Shannon Sharpe is the most racist black man on television. This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live, make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to my channel. Hit that join button so you can join the Tatum Squad. Like this video. Comment on this video. Share this video. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Sharpe. I cannot stand Shannon Sharpe. He is the biggest social justice warrior on television. He can't just talk about sports. He can't talk about somebody throwing a Hail Mary, catching the ball, winning the game, winning a Super Bowl championship, whatever you want to call it. He can't just talk about that. He has to be a pawn of the network as the black Negro who's going to come out and say all the racist stuff that they want to say against white people and against black people in this country. Let me give you an example of why I say this. Let me give you an example of why I'm upset. The Dallas Cowboys head coach decided to pump the team up and give them watermelons to smash watermelons or whatever the case may be. Only racist people still hold the watermelon as a racial tool. Nobody cares about watermelons no more. It is over. Back in the day, they used watermelons as a racial, they didn't use them. They would associate watermelons to black people in blackface and entertainment to make them look like they're bumbling fools, and they use watermelons as a way to portray that. That was a long time ago. Nobody cares about watermelons. I'm black. I don't care if somebody I love watermelons. And all my white friends love watermelons too. Nobody cares. But people like Shannon Sharpe have to toe the line of racism. They have to toe the line of I'm going to be a victim no matter what. And I want you guys to hear what he said, because I almost lost my mind when my friend Sergio showed me this article. I almost lost my mind. I almost lost my mind in the kitchen. I said, I can't stand Shannon Sharpe. I can't stand this fake, phony, cowardice behavior where everything is racist against black people. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to play the clip right now. He has to be the most racist black person on television. Listen to how he talks about white people and white America. And we're all Americans, fool. But he talk about white America as if the two people sitting on the screen or the other guy sitting on the screen with him don't live in the same country. Now, let's get to this real quick. Let's get to this. So I'm going to play it and let you hear what the fool said.
I don't think it's fun. And listen, dear white America.
You are white America. Okay.
Anytime you have black people in your presence.
All black people. Not just some. All black people. You are all white people, and Shannon Sharpe is finna describe all black people to you.
Watermelon has a negative connotation.
Yep.
Let it go. Let it go. Things that were acceptable many, many years ago, even though it wasn't acceptable, it was tolerated, is unacceptable. It will not be tolerated.
So you're telling me that it makes sense to be a black man who succeeds in America today, that everything that ever happened that had a negative undertone in America has to be projected in perpetuity. Just because people had a negative experience about watermelon, you saying you can't even talk about a watermelon today. We're over it. Fried chicken. I mean, you want to go down the list? Chitlins, turkey neck, all these rabbit, all these different things that black people used to have and used to eat. Even you talk about the hog maw, the pig's feet, all these different things that black people were shunned, and they were ridiculed for eating, and now bananas. I mean, we go to bananas. Now you can't even do none of that today. For the rest of your black life, you can't eat watermelons from a white man, and you can't have a banana from a white man. If that's not perpetuating racial issues, I don't know what is.
Find another tool, another mechanism to motivate your players, black players. If you need somebody, a white man.
Just imagine, and I'm not keep pausing it. Just imagine if a white man said this about black people. If the roles were reversed, white players. If you need a black man, just imagine. Why they let him get away with this is beyond me.
And smashing watermelons to get you motivated, you're in the wrong line of business. It's not funny. It's not cute. I don't get these young guys anymore. I really don't.
Because you are holding on to an old generation of racism. These new guys are beyond that. The locker room is more diverse than it probably ever have been. This racial undertone, when I was playing football in 2005, when I went to college and I played college football through to 2010, nobody cared about race. People associated themselves with each other if they had a connection. All the dudes from Texas hung around dudes from Texas. Dudes that came from a similar background hung around each other. Yeah, there was black people players mostly hanging around other black players because of the context of social structure, not the context of racism. But when we got on the football field, the white offensive linemen were blocking for the black running backs, and the white quarterback was throwing to the black wide receivers, and nobody gave a flying flip. Nobody cares. We were one team. Same thing in the military. There's all these different factions, but at the end of the day, we're one team. We fight in the same direction, and that's the way America should be. Yeah, the black people probably live together, white people probably live together, people with different cultural backgrounds, but at the end of the day, we're Americans. And these fools like Shannon Sharpe need to stop trying to divide us by still crying about racism. That's gone.
Because ain't no way in hell Mike Shanahan, Dan Reeves, Wade Phillips, or any of my coaches could have ever brought a watermelon. And what? And you think that's cool? And he bragged about it. Hey, we're going to keep this on the hush. He openly talking about it.
He did.
First of all, when I saw the watermelon, coach, what you doing with that? If you ain't going to a picnic, if you ain't going to a cookout or a barbecue.
So it's good to take to a picnic, cookout, or barbecue.
Barbecue? Man, you better not have no watermelons coming up in there talking about we smashing this. I don't know what Mike McCarthy was thinking. And I don't know what those black players in the locker room was thinking allowed him to do that.
Agreed.
And you know, he got his little sidekick, his little baby mama on the side, agreeing to everything he says. But you know why Mike McCarthy did that? And you know why the black players didn't care? Because they're over the Fabergé eggs of society, the black people of society that's so fragile. Shout out to my boy Jericho Green. Y'all better follow Jericho Green. People are over it. Black people, and I'm not saying all, because a lot of people still soft as a marshmallow, but most people are done. Most people don't care about your crybaby racism stuff that occurred 100 years ago that you want to keep passing along in the future. But I would like to see somebody like, you know, Shannon Sharpe talk about the N-word in the locker room. We don't want to talk about that though. We don't want to talk about the racial things that black players say against white players too. You don't want to talk about that in the locker room. It's cool. You cool with that. I know Shannon Sharpe and a bunch of them black players used to say crazy stuff about white players. And white players probably said crazy stuff about black players. We did it when I was in college, but it was fun when we did it. We talk trash about white stereotypes. They talk trash about black stereotypes, and we capping on each other the whole time in the locker room and having fun. Because at the end of the day, we loved each other. And you cannot tell me that Shannon Sharpe and them didn't do the same thing when he was playing football. He's acting like he's holier than thou, and his coach better not ever say that. And I know they were throwing racial slurs at each other. They were throwing racial stereotypes. The black players this, the white players this. White people can't dance. Black people, you know, got bad credit. I mean, we used to rail each other. We used to have fun with it. They do the same thing in the military. They rail each other. They have fun with it. They talk about all the stereotypes, whether Hispanic, whether whatever. That's what people do. That's what men do in the locker room. That's what men do in policing. That's what men do in the military. Not all of them, but a lot of them. A lot of them do. I mean, we used to go so hard when I was on the police department. Me and my homeboy used to one-up each other on the racial stereotypes. He was like some hillbilly guy. He lived out in the middle of nowhere. He had pigs. He had a farm. You know, he was cooking pigs in the ground, doing all this stuff. And there are stereotypes that go along with white people who are out in the rural area. And then there's stereotypes about black people like me who got tattoos on my stomach and my arms. We used to clown each other. Every day I would say something crazy about him. He'll say something crazy about me. We'll one-up each other on the stereotypes. And we would try to see who can get the most extreme with one another. And we were the best of friends. We went on calls together every shift. And one day he came and he got me. I couldn't get him on this one. He got me. He brought a watermelon. He brought Kool-Aid and fried chicken to the briefing because we always bring food for us to eat. He brought all that to the thing. And everybody laughed. I thought it was funny. He got me. He had the best stereotype play out that anybody could ever do, and he got me. I mean, it's just what it was. Nobody was mad. That stuff is old. It's over. Racism is dead in America. People like Shannon Sharpe is trying to put it on life support, trying to give it morphine. It's gone. Okay? Racism is done. Most people, it doesn't have a tremendous effect in America today. Stop trying to hold on to your grandmother's past. It doesn't have an effect today as much as it did in the past. And one example, and I'll flip it back to the screen, one example is because this guy has his own show. And he telling the white man what he should and shouldn't be doing on the show. All right, I could talk about this for 3 or 4 more hours, but I want you to watch the rest of my videos. Comment in the comment section. Am I tripping or am I on to something? Make sure you visit the Officer Tatum store. Go to TatumReport.com where you get 100% verifiable news, 100% free to you. I love you guys. I appreciate you. See you on the next one. I'm out.